Zillow says housing is about to become more affordable in 2026. And if you're trying to buy a home in Los Angeles right now, that headline might be the most misleading thing you're going to hear all year. Because what Zillow calls affordable and what affordability actually looks like for buyers in Los Angeles are two different realities. And in this video, I'm breaking down Zillow's latest housing market forecast, explaining the assumptions behind it, and showing you why waiting for affordability in Los Angeles could cost you years of opportunity and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Every time Zillow releases one of these forecasts, the same cycle repeats itself. Headlines spread across social media saying, housing is finally getting easier. Buyers start thinking, well, you know what? This might be the year they jump in, and sellers wonder whether they should wait a little longer. And I understand why people want to believe it. Buying a home in Los Angeles definitely has become emotionally exhausting. Prices feel out of reach, payments feel overwhelming, and inventory feels impossible. So there's a lot of junk out there. So when a major platform tells you relief is coming, it feels like permission to pause. But here's the hard truth. Hope is not a real estate strategy, especially in Los Angeles. You see, Zillow's report claims that by the end of 2026, housing will be considered affordable in 20 of the 50 largest metropolitan areas in the United States. And they say this would be the most affordability we've seen since 2022. On the surface, that sounds pretty encouraging, but you have to ask the important question before you believe it. Affordable for who and affordable where? Right? So Zillow's definition of affordability is not about home prices coming down. It's about monthly mortgage payments appearing more manageable. And that distinction matters more than most people realize. Because Zillow is not saying homes will be cheaper. They're not predicting a major price correction. No, they're saying that under certain conditions, the payment math looks slightly better. And according to Zillow, housing is considered affordable when the total monthly housing cost does not exceed 30% of the median household income. That includes principal, interest, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. And the rule of thumb works reasonably well in balanced markets. Now, Los Angeles is not a balanced market. In Los Angeles, you see, the relationship between income and home prices has been broken for a long time. Before the pandemic, nationwide mortgage payments typically consumed about 22 to 26% of household income. Then prices surged in 2020, rates doubled in 2022, and affordability collapsed. And by late 2023, the typical mortgage payment required more than 38% of household income nationwide. Now, that wasn't just uncomfortable, it was historically extreme. And now, Zillow says things are improving. They point out that affordability has already improved from those extremes and continue improving through 2026. But Los Angeles does not behave like the national average. And that's where this forecast really, in my opinion, starts to fall apart. Now, to understand why, you need to look at the assumptions Zillow is making. The first assumption that Zillow is making is that mortgage rates fall and stabilize around 6%. Could that happen? Possibly. Mortgage rates often move very fast, and we've already seen brief dips below 6%. But assuming rates have a steadily declining, that's what they're going to do, and stay there is far from guaranteed. Inflation, global markets, government debt, Federal Reserve policy, all that plays a role. So betting your future on stable rates might be risky. And even if rates do land around 6%, that alone does not make Los Angeles affordable. The second assumption that Zillow makes is that home prices continue rising, just at a slower pace. Zillow is forecasting roughly 1.9% appreciation nationally. That means prices are not correcting. They are not dipping. They are still going up. slower appreciation does not equal affordability, especially when prices are already extremely high for buyers here in Los Angeles. The third assumption is income growth. And Zillow expects incomes to rise by about 3.3% this year. But income growth in Los Angeles has not come close to matching home price growth over the past decade. A few percentage points of wage growth does not offset hundreds of thousands of dollars in price increase over the last several years. And then we get to the biggest assumption of all by Zillow, the one that makes this forecast almost meaningless for most Los Angeles home buyers. Zillow assumes a 20% down payment. Nationally, Zillow uses a typical home, a value of around $360,000. Now, a 20% down payment on that home is roughly $72,000. That's already a stretch for many buyers. But Los Angeles is not a $360,000 market. In Los Angeles, the median price is closer to $800,000 to $900,000, depending on the area. And so a 20% down payment is not $72,000, it's closer to $170,000 or $180,000. And most buyers in Los Angeles simply do not have that type of cash available. The reality is that many Los Angeles buyers are putting 3%, 5%, or 10% down. Some are using FHA loans. Some are using conventional mortgages with mortgage insurance. And when you reduce the down payment, the monthly payment jumps significantly. Mortgage insurance gets added, interest cost increase, and suddenly Zillow's affordability math really completely breaks down. So that's why when Zillow says the average monthly payment is around $2,300, that number is meaningless for Los Angeles buyers. Many Los Angeles buyers are still looking at monthly payments of $5,000 up to $12,000. And that's not because they're buying luxury homes. That's because average homes in Los Angeles are expensive. $1 million is the new $500,000 now. Zillow even admits that under their own forecast, monthly payments could actually increase slightly by the end of the year rather than decrease. So the idea that affordability is dramatically improving doesn't really hold up under scrutiny. This disconnect explains why buyers feel stuck. This is something I always talk about with my sellers. I recently ran a poll asking whether mortgage rates around 6% are low enough to motivate people to buy a home in 2026. And only 20% said yes. Roughly 80% said no. But the most important part wasn't the percentages. It was the comments. What did people say? Over and over again, buyers said the same thing. Prices are the problem, not the rates. Homes have doubled in value in basically 6 to 7 years. Incomes haven't doubled. Buyers feel like they're being asked to pay luxury prices for average properties. And that frustration is especially tense in Los Angeles. So buyers today are not uneducated. They understand the math. They understand what a payment actually feels like. They understand what lifestyle sacrifices are required. And many of them are choosing to wait. Not because they can't qualify, because the value doesn't feel right. Now, let's talk about inventory, because this is where Los Angeles becomes, I think, fundamentally different from many other markets from around the country as opposed to Texas or Florida or Tennessee. Zillow claims affordability will improve in nearly every major metro, with Hartford being the only exception. That statement completely ignores how supply-constrained markets actually work. So you see, Los Angeles has a chronic inventory problem. We don't have unlimited land, we have strict zoning laws, we have environmental regulations, slow permitting, high labor costs, and extremely expensive construction costs. New housing supply cannot ramp up quickly, even when demand softens. So because of that, prices in Los Angeles are sticky. When demand drops, prices don't crash. Sellers simply wait, take their homes off the market. Many homeowners in Los Angeles have ultra-low mortgages locked in from years ago. They're not forced to sell. They don't panic, they just sit tight. And that keeps inventory low and prices elevated. This is why Los Angeles does not experience affordability relief the same way other markets do. Now, in some parts of the country, builders can add supply quickly. In Los Angeles, supply is constrained by design. So this is something you have to keep in mind. So what does all of this actually mean if you're thinking of buying a home in Los Angeles in 2026? How does it affect you? It means you should stop waiting for a dramatic affordability reset that may actually never come. It means you should stop expecting prices to fall 20% simply because headlines say affordability is improving. And it means you need to shift from hope-based decisions to strategy-based decisions. This is something really important. And for buyers, that strategy might just involve adjusting expectations. That could mean for you choosing a smaller home, looking at a different neighborhood than what you originally were looking at, considering a condo or a townhome instead of a single-family home, or using financing strategies that prioritize long-term stability rather than chasing the lowest possible rate. And for sellers, how does this affect you? Well, this market requires precision. Buyers today are really cautious. They are payment sensitive. They are educated. Overpricing a home in Los Angeles right now is one of the fastest ways to kill momentum and lose leverage, as well as cost you thousands upon thousands of dollars. The market is not broken. It's recalibrating. And Zillow's definition of affordability does not mean what most people think it means, especially in Los Angeles. So if you're serious about buying or selling a home in Los Angeles in 2026, stop focusing on national forecasts and start focusing on local data and inventory levels, price trends, buyer behavior, payment reality. That's how smart decisions get made in today's market. Because 2026 is not going to reward people who wait for perfect conditions. It's going to reward people who understand the rules of the game, rules of engagement, and move with clarity, not fear. So if you want more honest, no hype breakdowns of what's really happening in the Los Angeles housing market, well, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm Scott Himmelstein with the Scott Himmelstein Group, because information is expensive and clarity creates opportunity. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one.